some mathematical concepts, ratio, proportion and percentage. In that we have to discuss how to define any two ratios. First, the ratio of P to Q small p to small q is defined by, it is a fraction P by Q, okay, and it can be written as simple way P is to, okay, it can be written as P is to Q. For the ratio P is to Q, it's called P is called ratio P is to Q. P is called the first term. P is called the first term, and Q is called the second term. Small q is called the second term, and we have to discuss how to define a ratio. Okay. For example, the ratio of two quantities. The ratio of two quantities, rupees 75 to rupees 100. This can be written as 75 upon 100 or 75 is to 100. Okay. This can be written as 3 upon 4 or 3 is to 4. Okay. This is normal method to write any ratio. Okay. Next, we have to see some important concept or important properties of any two fractions. Okay. If P upon Q is a fraction, then there are some certain properties for that fraction. Number first, P upon Q, we also write this as M multiplied by Q upon M multiplied by Q, where small m is any constant. Okay, means P upon Q is same as M multiplied by Q upon M multiplied by Q. For example, if we give a ratio 2 upon 3, okay, this, and if we have to multiply m is equal to suppose 4, then this ratio can be written as 4 multiplied by 2 upon 4 multiplied by 3. This can be written as 8 upon 12, and again we can get it, we can rewrite this 8 upon 12 is equal to again 2 by 3. Okay, means by multiplying any constant to numerator and denominator, our ratio becomes not changed. Okay. Second property, if we have to divide any constant number to numerator or denominator, means what? If P upon Q be any fraction or be any number, and we have to divide any constant and with that ratio, then the value of that ratio remains unchanged. For example, the ratio 2 upon 3, and if we take small m is equal to, for example, 2, okay, then this ratio can be written as 2 upon m divided by 3 upon m, means what? 2 upon 2 whole divided by 3 upon 2. Okay, this can be written as this and this get cancelled, and this can be again written as 2 upon 3. Means when we have to divide any constant to numerator or denominator, the value of ratio remains unchanged. Okay, this is what second property of ratio. Then next, continue ratio. Suppose there are three similar quantities, small a, small b and small c, and we can say that the three quantities are in continuing ratio. Means what? These quantities are in continuing ratio. Means what? We can be write this as a is to b is to what? C. Okay. For example, if rupees 200, rupees 400 and rupees 600 are in continuous ratio, then this can be written as 200 is to 400 is to 600. Means what? The ratio are in continuous ratio. The final solution is what? 1 is to 2 is to what? Means three quantities are in continuous ratio. Means this can be written in the form a is to b is to c. Okay, and we have to get a final solution. Okay. Next, inverse ratio. Next type. What do you mean by inverse ratio? Okay. If we have to get any ratio a is to b, okay, and question is what? We have to find the inverse ratio of that number. Okay. The inverse of a is to b is what? B is to a. For example, if any ratio 2 is to 5, okay, and we have to find inverse ratio of that 2 is to 5. The solution becomes 5 is to what? Okay. Means we have to interchange numerator by denominator and denominator by numerator. We have to get a inverse ratio. For example, 4 upon 5. 4 is to 5. We have to find inverse of 4 is to 5 what? 5 is to 4. Means we have to change numerator and denominator. Okay. We have to get inverse ratio. Next, some definitions that are useful in ratio. Number first, compounded of two ratios. Some important definitions. Compounded of two ratios. If we have to get two ratio, number first a is to b and number second c is to d, okay, and we have to find the compounded ratio of that two ratio. E is what? Simply we have to multiply these a. Simply we have to multiply these a with c. Means what? A multiplied by c is to what? These b multiplied by d. B is to b. Okay. This is what? Compounded ratio of two different ratios. For example, if first ratio becomes 2 is to 3 and second ratio becomes 4 is to 9, okay, and question is what? We have to find compounded ratio of that two ratio. Okay, this is what? 2 multiplied by these 4 is to what? 3 multiplied by 9. Okay, this is what? 2 multiplied by 4 is 8 is to what? 9 multiplied by 3, 27. So this is what? Compounded ratio of two different ratios. Okay. In that, this is what first type. Next one is what? Duplicate ratio. Next one is what? Duplicate ratio. How to find a duplicate of any ratio? Okay. Suppose our given ratio becomes A is to B. Okay. And we have to find duplicate of that ratio. A is to B. Means we have to square of that ratio. Okay. Means what? A multiplied by A is to B multiplied by. For example, if given ratio is 2 is to 5 and we have to find duplicate ratio of 2 is to 5, means we have to simply multiply or we have to find square of that ratio, means we have to find the duplicate of that ratio. This is what? 2 square it becomes 4 and 5 square is what? 25. That is 4 is to 25 is duplicate ratio of 2 is to 5. Okay. Again, next example, 3 is to 4 and we have to find duplicate ratio of 3 is to 4. Means what? We have to simply square of that ratio. Okay. Means what? 9 is to 16. So 9 is to 16 is duplicate ratio of 3 is to 4. Okay. Then number next types, what? Sub duplicate ratio. Number sub duplicate ratio. We have to find sub duplicate ratio. Okay. Sub duplicate means what? If any ratio A is to B and we have to find sub duplicate of A is to B is simply we have to find square root of that one. We have to find square root of that ratio, means what? Sub duplicate ratio. For example, 4 is to 9 and question is what? Find sub duplicate ratio of 4 is to 9. Means what? We have to simply find square root of that ratio. Okay. So square root of 4 means what? 2 and square root of 9 means what? 3. Means 2s to 3 is sub duplicate ratio of 4 is to 9. Next example, 25 is to 16. 25 is to 16 and question is what? Find the sub duplicate ratio of 25 is to 9. Okay. So means we have to find the square root of 25 is to square root of 16. Square root of 25 means what? 5 and square root of 16 means what? 4. So this is what? Sub duplicate ratio. Next one, sub triplicate ratio. Next type, sub triplicate ratio. Means what? If given ratio is A is to B and we have to find the sub triplicate ratio of A is to B, means we have to find out cube root of that ratio. Means what? Cube root of A is to cube root of B. Means sub triplicate ratio of that given number. Okay. 8 is to 27. And question is that find out sub-triplicate ratio of 8 is to 25. Means simply we have to find out the cube root of 8, okay, and is to cube root of 27. And we know that cube root of 8 is what? 2, and cube root of 27 is what? 3. So 2 is to 3 is sub-triplicate ratio of 8 is to 27. So questions are, we have to see. Number first, find the compounded ratio. Find the compounded ratio of, number first, 3s to 4, and second ratio 6 is to 7. Okay. We know that how to find the compounded ratio. Okay. If A is to B and C is to D are given to ratio, and we have to find the compounded ratio, simply multiply this A with C. Means what? A multiplied by C is to what? B multiplied by B multiplied by. Okay. So compounded ratio of 3 is to 4 and 6 is to 7 becomes 3 multiplied by 6 is to 4 multiplied by 7. This is equal to what? 3 multiplied by 6 is equal to 18 is to 4 multiplied by 7, 20. So 18 is to 28. This can be also written as, after cancelling, 9 is to 4. So compounded ratio of 3 is to 4 and 6 is to 7 becomes 9 is to 14. Okay. Similarly, second question. Same question. Find the compounded ratio of the following: 3 is to 4, comma, 8 is to 15, and 5 is to 4. And question is what? Find the compounded ratio. Again, we have to perform same operation. 3 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 5 is to what? 4 multiplied by 15 and multiplied by 4. This can be written as 3 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 5 whole divided by 4 multiplied by 15 and multiplied by 4. Okay. After simplifying, 4 get cancelled with 8 is 2, and 5 get cancelled with 15 is 3, and this 3 and this 3 get cancelled. So 2 upon 4 means what? 1 upon 2 means final solution becomes 1 is to what? Okay. So when we have to find out compounded ratio, we have to perform such a type of operations. Next one. Next question. Find the duplicate ratio of. Find the duplicate ratio. Number first. Duplicate means what? We have to find the square. Okay. Number first, 2 under root 2 is to 3 under root 2. And question is what? Find the duplicate ratio. Means we have to simply find out the square of that ratio. Is what? 2 under root 2 whole bracket square is to 3 under root 2 whole bracket square. This is what? 2 square is what? 4, and under root 2 bracket square means what? 2 is 2. This square is what? 9, and under root 2 bracket square again is what? 2. So after cancelling this 2 and this 2, we have to get 4 is to 9. So 4 is to 9 is duplicate ratio of 2 under root 2 is to 3 under root 2. Okay. Second question. Same question. Calculate the duplicate ratio of equal to x upon 3 is to y upon 5. X upon 3 is to y upon 5. Again, we have to perform the same operation. To find the duplicate ratio, we have to find the square of that two ratio. Okay? X upon 3 bracket square is to y upon 5 bracket square. Means what? X square is what? X square, and square of 9, square of 3 is what? 9 is to y bracket square upon 5 square is what? 25. Okay. This can be written as simply form 25 x square is to 9 y square. This is what? So this is what? Duplicate ratio of x is to y is to y upon 5. Okay. Next, we have to find the sub-triplicate ratio. So triplicate ratio. Number first, 3 is to 4. 3 is to, you know that sub-triplicate, not sub-triplicate. We have sub-triplicate means what? We have to find the cube root. Okay, means what? Cube root of 3 is to cube root of 4. Okay, this is what? Sub-triplicate of that ratio. 8 is to 60. Okay, and we have to find the sub-triplicate ratio. Means we have to find the cube root of that ratio. Means cube root of 8 is to cube root of 60, and we know that cube root of 8 is 2 and cube root of 64 is what? 4. So 2 is to 4 is sub-triplicate ratio of given number. Okay. Next, we have to find the triplicate of some numbers. How to find a triplicate ratio of some given ratios. Number first, 4 is to 5. And question is what? Find the replicate ratio. Means what? Replicate ratio means we have to find the simply cube of that number. So what? 4 cube is to 5. This becomes 4 cube is what? 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4 is to 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. So this becomes 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4, 64, and 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5, 125. Okay. This is what? Replicate ratio of given numbers. Number second example, p raised to 1 upon 3 is to q raised to 1 upon 2, and we have to find the replicate ratio of that given ratios. Okay. Means what? We have to find the cube of given numbers. Means p raised to 1 upon 3 raised to 3 is to q raised to 1 upon 3 bracket q. Okay. This can be simply written as p raised to 1 upon 3 multiplied by 3 is to q raised to 1 upon 3 multiplied by 2. This becomes this 3 and this 3 get cancelled. Also this 3 and this 3 get cancelled. Means what? We have to get p is to, so p is to q is is replicate ratio of that given ratio. Okay. Next we have to find the reciprocal ratio. Next, right? We have to find the reciprocal ratio. Okay. Reciprocal ratio. If any ratio x is to y, and question is what? Find out reciprocal ratio of that ratio. Means we have to find reciprocal of that ratio. What? Reciprocal ratio of x is to y becomes 1 upon x is to 1 upon y. Okay. Some questions are always asked in examination. If if 4p plus 3 is to 3p minus 7 is sub-replicate ratio of ratio of 27 is to 8, comma, find the value of small number. Okay, find the value of small number. First of all, write down solution. Given that 4p plus 3 is to 3p minus 7 is sub-replicate ratio of 27 is to 8. Means first of all we have to find the sub-replicate ratio of 27 is to 8, and we know that sub-replicate means we have to find the cube root of that number. That's what? Sub-replicate of 27 upon 8 is what? Cube root of 27 is 3 and cube root of 8 is what? 2. Means 4p plus 3 upon 3p minus 7 is equal to what? Sub-replicate ratio of 27 is to 8 is what? 3 upon 2. Okay, and after simplification we have to get 2 in bracket 4p plus 3 is equal to 3 in bracket 3p minus 7. Okay, and simply we have to multiply 4, 2 multiplied by 4 means what? 8p plus 2 multiplied by, you have to multiply terms wise. 2 multiplied by 3 what? 6 is equal to 3 multiplied by 3 9p minus 3 multiplied by 7 24. Okay, and after simplification we have to get values of p is equal to what? 27. 27 is our final solution. Okay, so up to now we have to see that how to calculate a different compounded ratio, then duplicate ratio, then sub duplicate ratio, then sub triplicate and triplicate of the given ratio. Okay, next lecture we have to see some important questions that always ask for ratio. So today stop here. Thank you.